Get it? Breeze new life? Because I'm playing Fire Breather? Never mind. Overall, I was whelmed by Mega Camerupt EX when I played it previously. It did everything it promised. 240 damage for a single fire provided they were burned. Unfortunately, that came up just short in most areas. And having to constantly keep your opponent's active burned was more work than what I have to do to convince a woman to go on a date with me. But at its core, Camerupt is a fire mega. That's perfect for Oricorio EX, who needs one of those to accelerate all fire energy from hand. Version 1 of Oricorio Camerupt uses Camerupt's second attack. 4 energy, 280 damage, but you have to discard 2 energy. It's not amazing, but it gets the job done, especially paired with Gravity Mountain and Defiance Band or Maximum Belt. I did leave a single copy of Volcanion in there to allow Camerupt to use Roasting Feet, but the focus of this video is how Oricorio helps the deck. Version 2 is having Camerupt exist solely to activate Oricorio. While we're getting a new Numel that burns on contact next year, the currently available one has a Call for Family attack. This means you can find your basic attackers fairly easily. Torkoal is a coin flip card that never works, while both Reshiram can take big KOs for 3 or 4 energy. So as long as they forgot to put boss's orders in their deck, you might actually have a chance to win. Do I seriously have to get rid of the Fire Breather here? Because every other card is really good, so I think I do have to get rid of the Fire Breather. Even though I really don't want to. Okay, so we have Volcanion, we have Totsadiri. We know that Totsadiri is a lie, so I should probably just take it out of the deck because it sucks. It's the worst card ever printed. Now we're going to let me down. I'm going to win this so quickly, you're not even going to know what happened. You're going to be like, hey, what just happened? Did someone just clap my cheeks? And it'd be like, that was me, baby. I was the one clapping. I'm the one who claps. You know how Heisenberg is the one who knocks? I'm the one who claps. All right, so let's go... Volcanion. What's in my hand? We got a Lilies. All right, so let's go Oricorio and Volcanion. And then we're going to win. And, well, I mean, you could also go to bid if you're still on eBay. All right, we have a great hand. We have Gravity Mountain, which we have to clutch because I think that's our only one. We have Latias. Ooh, they're just going for a TM Evolution. Ah, this hand was great. It was lacking a Mega Camerupt. Okay, well, we got a Lilies again, so that's good. And, you know, it's tough to say, am I getting my worst matchups today? I don't know what a good matchup for this deck is, because I don't even think Golden Go is a good matchup. Like, I have Moltres plus Defiance Band just for Golden Go, but even then, I think they can still win. Because they just knock out Moltres, Camerupt, and then any of your, like, 4-2 prizers you have to have on the field. Mega Venusaur? Well, any deck can beat Mega Venusaur. You know, name a deck that exists, and that can beat Mega Venusaur, so... Ooh, okay, okay. That's cool. So, I want to go... do I even want a Defiance Band? I guess I want the Defiance Band on you. Empoleon can't beat it. Empoleon can beat everything. Empoleon's great. Okay, let's put that there, even though I know we don't need it. And then just Lilies. Because if I had a Mega Camerupt, I would be able to do many things. But we have a Mega Camerupt now. Okay. So let's go Mega Camerupt and... Ooh, do I put 2 energy on the Volcanion? Because I can Turo next turn. We can maybe do the thing. Or do I just put like 1 of each on these guys? No, I think this is what I do. I think that's... I don't know if that's the correct call. And not crikey. Well, damn straight, you come here, you're going to see things you never seen before. You ever seen a grown man be driven to insanity slowly over the course of 4 years? You're going to see that here too, crikey. Mega Obama Snow? Exactly. Everything beats Mega Venusaur. Except Sharpedo. But even the worst pedo in the world can get beaten off by a toad. You know, you lick the right toad, anything can happen. So... unless they have the greatest turn in the oh, crap. So I'm really thinking that Pokegear is just better than Totsadiri. I mean, I think anyone can attest to that. You know, not even a teacher can attest to that. Get it? Because like even a teacher can attest to that. because like a teacher does tests. Okay, so wait, I wonder if PDCGL will break if I try to do this. All right, let's go get the Fez. I could get the Tatsugiri, but, you know, Fez is just as good. Whoa, something just terastallized. All right, let's do Roasting Feet. I know they're going to shut off my items probably, but that's fine because I just knock out a Jellicent. But, I mean, this is going okay. You know, a Gardevoir deck that whiffed a turn 2 Gardevoir and there isn't a Munkidori in sight? Are we actually going to win this game and not be able to put it in the YouTube video because it's not exciting enough? And if you watch today's video, you'll notice that I did a lot of cuts in that Tor game because they played very slowly and, you know, I just basically did nothing. Because as I said in the... Ooh, I can one-shot this Guardy. If I get a Gust Guard, I can one-shot the Guardy. Again, this is why I think Pokegear is better than Tatsugiri, and you probably want to have just Pokegear, like at least 2 Pokegear, because then you can find Fire Breather. You can Arven for a Pokegear if you're having a bad start. But if you haven't watched the video from yesterday with Genesect that is on YouTube right now, I show you exactly how you can beat Tord's Mega Deck against people on PTCGL who are not Tord. And the answer is you do nothing. Well, no, it's still winning quite a few tournaments on PTCGL. The issue is that it's a tournament deck. It's not a ladder deck against people who whack off like me. All right, so they know for a fact that their Mega Diancie is going to survive against my Mega Camerupt, but they... surprised they didn't use Oceanic Gloom, right? They could have used Oceanic Vileplume if they wanted to. Oh, but this is great. We got it. We got it, everybody. Oh, come on. Oh, we prized the Prime Catcher. Come on, PDCGL. Be slightly chill for once in your life. For once in your life, be chill. Bro. Just for once. For once you could have been chill and given me the Prime Catcher and I could have Gravity Mountained, knocked out the Gardevoir. Again, literally see, there you go. There you go. And Lost Island, you literally just said streamer client that listens to the mic and screws over the player. The whole table was set. I had the Gravity Mountain, I had the energy on the Camerupt and an Ignition Energy. I got Arven off the top deck. The only thing that could go wrong is if I prized the Prime Catcher and it was in one of the last 4. Again, if you hear me complain about the game, just replay that moment. That is not an isolated incident. It's not like a woman at a club who has been crying and clearly is, you know, just broke up with her boyfriend. It is not like that where I isolate them so I can bring them home. Okay, who are you knocking out? I guess you go for Fez? Yeah, I was like, I guess you just go for Fez in that situation? All right, but we're going to be able to do the thing again. And does the burn do it? Because it takes 30 less damage, so I think I'm 10 short. But if I can find Tool Scrapper, if I can find the Tool Scrapper, then that's hilarious. But it takes 30 less, so I'm doing 250. Yeah, I'm literally 10 short. So we'll just go for the Guardy play and make them concede in shame. I also do have the Moltres, but I don't think I need Moltres anymore. Because what's the point of Moltres when I can just burn for the knockout? Like, yeah, I understand they have Munkidori, but I have Volcanion to take a knockout. I have everything. Mathematically, I think it's impossible for them to win this game. I think it's like a Pyroar with... I don't know where I'm trying to make a joke about like a paw, like impossible, like Kim Possible, but impossible. All right, so let's go. Let's do the thing. Gengar's friend, damn straight. All right, so we go Ignition Energy. That's step 1. Titty Mountain. Prime Catcher. And then we knock out their dude. I guess I could have also burned, but this is funnier. I know I could have also done this completely differently and just burned them and also knocked out and not wasted an ignition energy. But this is funnier, okay? So this is what we're doing. All right. That's unfortunate. Do I even need anything out of the deck? I mean, I guess I go get the Tatsugiri in case I get Ino to 1. But then I'm in a situation where I have to win. But with the bosses, we're gonna be fine, right? With the bosses in the deck, how can we possibly lose? I probably should have grabbed the Reshiram and accelerated to the Reshiram. But I'm gonna give Tatsugiri one. Oh, we have bosses in our hand. I'm gonna give Tatsugiri one last chance to prove its net worth to us. If its net worth is not the same as wait, who are we talking about that had a crazy net worth? I mean, Jason Statham probably has a crazy net worth, you know, with all those, with that Beekeeper movie. And do you see? Again, we prized the Prime Catcher and the Tool Scrapper. Again, this is not isolated. This is what happens every single game. I prize the cards that I need. What's the one card in this deck that you would say is the most important in the Gardevoir matchup? Tool Scrapper, exactly. So what did we prize? Tool Scrapper, what would you say is the second most important? Prime Catcher, what did we prize? Exactly, yeah, we got to turn off dev mode. So just, I wish I didn't complain as much as I did, but between the bugs where I can't select the cards that I need out of my deck that aren't prized, and then the fact that the game just prizes every card I need in every specific matchup, I mean, you come here to watch me suffer. That's, let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. You come here to watch me suffer. And I don't mind. And also, if they don't evolve all of their routes, we just win. And also, what supporter did they get? They got Lilies. And Taram, I know, right? Okay, so they got a lot of things, but I'm just a bosses away from winning. And if they decide to target my Latias, that might actually be good. But they have to have an Ino in that hand. They went and got a Lilies. So in order for them to win, they definitely have to Ino me. And then they have to do quite a few things. They also have to evolve that Ralts. And Kelsey, that's what I'm wondering. No, they have Luminous, so that must be for the monkey. So it must be a Luminous. Yeah, it's a Luminous build. It's a Luminous Guardy monkey deck, which kind of defeats the purpose. Right? Because, like, what's the point of playing Luminous over just Darkness? Because you play Earthen Vessel. Like, they play multiple Earthen Vessel. Oh. So what's the Luminous for? Right? Because you can't accelerate Luminous. I'm not, like, there must be some random card in the deck that we aren't aware of. Yeah, there must be some random card, and we can't see it because this is not PDCGO, and you're not allowed to see your opponent's deck list. You're not allowed to see them whip it out and play with their deck list. Are they going to retreat and try to confuse me? That would be quite the confusing move if they did that. And hopefully they realize they have to heal the Diancie. And have they used Fez? Because remember, it's a global status condition. So if you're ever wondering, like, when Monkey Dory's ability has been used, it'll have the red down arrow. That's because you can use multiple Monkey Dory abilities per turn. But for Fezandipiti, you can only use one flip the script during your turn, no matter how many Fezandipiti you have. Okay. I don't think they realize how useless Oricorio is. I don't think they realize how unnecessarily useless. Okay, so they did everything right. They did everything right except they went for the Oricorio when they should have gone for the Volcanion. So putting the Bravery Charm on the Ralts, that's really good. They did a lot of correct things that turn. But, yeah, I think going for the Oricorio made very little sense. And also leaving the Gardevoir with 60 damage is also not very good. So yeah, they played as well as they could have with the knowledge that they had. I am taking the knockout, right? I'm doing 250. Yeah, we're doing 250. I'm not going to bother. If I lose, whatever. We all know I won in spirit. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So we won that game against Gardevoir. I think if they get their Monkey Dory out, obviously they win, because Totsadiri is the worst Pokemon ever printed, and no one should ever play it, and just play freaking Pokegear, because Totsadiri sucks. But if Totsadiri helps you out of a tough situation, that's actually pretty good. How dare you use my deck against me? All right, let's go and get... Oh, we prized... Did we seriously prize Defiance Band again? We literally prized Defiance Band again. You cannot make this up. Okay, so I'm going to need to keep Gravity Mountain simply because I have to bump like a Lively Stadium. And we go Call for Family. And I want... I mean, I guess Volcanion and Latias seems good. Yeah, they're going to cream all over me. Yeah, how am I supposed to win? Right? Because if the Bouffalon is doing reduced... If Bouffalon's reducing it like a sauce, and it's being reduced, then what am I supposed to do? Like, I might be able to Call for Family again. I think we use the I&O. Hope we get the Camerupt. Okay, so they put Lopunny in the deck. Then I think that almost guarantees they have Turo Scenario. If they don't get Turbo Energize Energy... Oh, they got Spike Energy. That's random. Okay. Hey, there's Mega Signal. All right, so we have a pretty good turn here. We can actually knock them out, believe it or not. We could knock out their Kangaskhan this turn. If everything goes perfectly, we can win the game this turn. It's not going to go perfectly, but, you know, we can believe. We can believe, can't we? You know, if I get an Ignition Energy or Oricorio and 3 energy, which is impossible, we got Oricorio and 1 energy. All right, but they still have to get like a Crispin and stuff. Yeah, let's put the Oricorio down. If I attach... No, I think we don't get greedy here. Let's just attach this there. Go for Roasting Feet. Because I have Jet Energy, I think that's going to end up saving me. Because if they do flip heads on either of these Chanseys here, we can do the thing. I know they can retreat, but I have Bosses and Jet Energy, so that should get us a knockout. The only way they can be saved here is if they go Crispin. Okay. The only way they can be saved here is if they go Crispin and then a couple Ice Cream. So if they lick my Ice Cream Cone, then we're in a bit of trouble. Or if they're just going for a 200 damage attack, that's fine. Because I have Reshiram EX. So Reshiram is going to be my win condition. Because I can't knock out the Lopunny, but I can soften up the Lopunny. Ooh, there's a Camerupt. Okay, so we know they can't one-shot it unless they attack with Kangaskhan. So let's go. Boss's orders the Kangaskhan. Jet Energy. Remember, Lopunny doesn't get the damage reduction. So we put that there. We go Scalding Steam. And Mega Camerupt. So they're going to knock out my active Camerupt. That's totally fine. Because they're going to have to two-shot this guy. I don't think there's any card in their deck other than Kangaskhan that can knock out a Mega Camerupt, and they would have to flip 3 heads to make it work. Okay, I said that earlier, right? We prized the Defiance Band. That's the 5th game this stream. We've been playing for 90 minutes. We've prized Defiance Band 5 games, and then if you go back to my test games, then it's even more. And as much as I wish the Victini could be a thing, you don't have room on your bench. You know, as much as I wish Victini was a thing, you just don't have the space on the bench. Okay, so I can just knock out like a Monkey Dory or something right now, right? I don't have to go for the Mega Lopunny, especially if I think they're going to have a Turo. But the fact that I have Ino is really good. And I also have Ignition Energy. So wait, do I... Hang on. Do I just put a bajillion damage on them and be like, GG, shake my foot? And also, let me see what's under those ripped leggings. Okay, so let's go Ignition Energy. Nest Ball. What else we got in here? We got Reshiram. Let's put Reshiram into play and be like, yeah, bro. It's happening. And then Ino. You always Fez after the Ino unless what you need has to be in your hand before the Ino. There's Gravity Mountain. Do I bother with Gravity Mountain in this situation? I mean, it gets it out of my deck. I'm just trying to think if there's anything they can do to screw me over. All right, so we want to get rid of that. We want to play with our balls, so we're just trying to thin the deck. The reason I can part with the Numel is because we don't need the Numel. The reason I can get rid of the Numel is because we don't need the Numel. I do need an Oricorio. All right, let's do 280. So this Mega Lopunny is getting knocked out. They have to move it out of the active, and they can't attack with it. And I didn't take a KO, so they cannot attack with this guy. That doesn't, the coin flip doesn't really matter unless they flip tails again, then I can just not attack. So if they play like Crushing Hammer or something, I'm totally fine. But you look at Reshiram EX, you probably forgot because it was kind of overshadowed by Zekrom, but this guy does, what is it, 380? So if they decide to gust a 2-prizer and knock out a 2-prizer, I'm doing 380 damage with Blazing Burst. And Kelsey, but it's the one, you son of a butt. That is the one card they could not play right now. That is the one card Ino is the biggest lie ever told. Bigger than the lie my ex-wife told me when she said she was not crazy. I don't know. Literally the one card they could not have, and it's what they get. Wait, why didn't they attach the energy? Because it goes into their hand. Do they not know that it goes into their hand? I mean, I know they want me to hit into the monkey. But if I... Like, I can't retreat. So if I hit in... Yeah, I think I still hit into the monkey, right? Like, why wouldn't I hit into the monkey? The problem is that they kind of just win next turn. So the one card in their deck out of 40 cards that they could not have, they got. And that is PDCGL in a nutshell. And then despite my deck being, you know, centered around retreating and gusting and stuff like that, hey, we got a retreat card. So let's go. Okay, so we go Ignition Energy. Hang on, I gotta do math here. This is gonna hurt my brain. So we definitely retreat. Because I don't want them to just do the same thing they just did to me. Because that was mean. Alright, then Scalding Steam. And then Excited Turbo. Let's put it on the Mega Camerupt just in case. And then we go end turn. Alright, so everything's gonna work out for us now. Because they're gonna knock out the dude. They're not going to get a Darkness Energy on the Monkey Dory and slowly melt away my Mega Camerupt and then get a bosses and then win the game. That's not going to happen. Are you... Okay, this is good. Don't have a bosses. Okay, it's a Lilies. Good. They're kind of in a situation where they have to take the knockout on the Volcanion and then just hope I don't got it like that. Crap. Crap. And Kelsey. In a perfect world. In a perfect world, Kelsey. But I can tell you right now, I would prize it. Like, look at how many times I've used Fire Breather this stream. I've used it literally 0 times. So how many times have I used it? Literally 0. And Fire Breather, you'd think would be good in this deck. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And that's really good. Oh, please don't do this, PDCGL. Okay. I still need another energy. So if and Woo Laddie, thank you for the sub. All right, let's try to go for the Reshiram KO. I want the Reshiram KO. So I have to put Oricorio down. I have to switch. We'll go into whatever. And then obviously 6 is a bigger number than 3. Any energy. Okay. You did it the roundabout way, but you got me any energy. We'll take it. So Reshiram finally did its thing. You know, we got the superior. We're doing 380. That's what I was trying to get them to do the entire game. So, yeah, I understand what they're playing, but go watch my video on the Ice Cream Kangaskhan. That's how you should play it. You don't need the Mega Lopunny. I understand why the Mega Lopunny's there. It does 230 for a single energy. But the whole point is that you have like a 440 hit point Mega Kangaskhan that you can just continually heal. And my Reshiram is a Mega, and considering that it did 380 damage, that's mega powerful. But yeah, just play the Kangaskhan build. Don't mess around with Lopunny. Kangaskhan with 440 hit points. You have Ice Cream, you put Penny and stuff in there, and it becomes just an absolute menace like Spider-Man. It wasn't really a question of what I was going to do next turn. I was obviously going to... Yeah, let's do that. We'll do that. I was obviously going to use Grasping Jaw with this hand. And there's no reason to use the bosses. And just, this is PDCGL and an... Oh, man. Okay. That's enough PDCGL for one day. That's enough TCGL. Okay, so they are going to do nothing this turn. But I can go Arven for Mega Signal. It would have been nice to get one playable card. I didn't do that. I could use Fire Breather and put 10 fire energy in my hand, which would be great. Oh, they got the Crispin. I can finally use Fire Breather, yes. With nothing else to help me out. All right, you'd think they'd go for a medal. Wait, why didn't they go for a medal? You know, shouldn't they pretend like they're at the Olympics and go for a medal? Because that's what the Pikachu needs. And that's like the hardest one to get. Unless they already have a medal in their hand. Obviously don't know what's in their hand, but you put 4 energy on the hands. If I'm able to top deck, well, I mean, there's nothing I can top deck that would help me out here. Yeah, that helps, but it's not what I need. All right, so let's go and get the Oricorio, because you're not weak to lightning. And I have to Arven. We got the dangerous laser. We got the dangerous laser, everybody. It's okay. Nobody panicked. We got the dangerous laser. And I mean, this is kind of the strat of this build, is you take out the burn other than the dangerous laser because it's funny. And then you put 1, 2, 3, 4. Retreat. Put the air balloon on the Oricorio. Roasting feet. So now whoever they attack with, even if it's the Pikachu, I can knock it out. I just have to go get my dangerous laser. And of course, we didn't get anything we actually needed. Yeah, so they're going to attack with the Pikachu. In which case, I'm going to bosses. So I will bosses their Iron Hands. Remember that they have to discard 3 energy, so they just lose the game if they go this route. You know, if they pretend like they're on Route 1, and they decide to go left of Viridian City straight to the Pokemon League, they're going to run into Gary. So what they should have done is gusted my Cleffa or my Numel and taken 2 prizes. And oh, hey, Mark. And there's a Prime Catch. So they're doing the right thing. Wait, what? The Oricorio's already served its purpose. The Oricorio, but I was going to bosses their Iron Hands. That's a questionable play. No, they should not have feared this. That's a highly questionable play that I don't think they should have done. Because now I just knock out their Iron Hands and they have to concede. And there's a Turo. Okay, so we go bosses on you. Retreat. I have to get rid of 2 energy, which is unfortunate, but I can hate my life. That's cool. Yeah, because they left themselves too vulnerable. right? They left themselves way too vulnerable and open because they were afraid. Obviously, they were scared, like, oh, if I go for the Cleffa or the Numel, Daddy Pilot's going to use Volcanic Meteor and knock out my Iron Hands. But the thing is, I was going to knock out the Iron Hands with a Gust card. So that was obviously a downside as well. And now you don't get any value out of your Iron Hands. And unless you have a Sparkling Crystal, which you don't because you played Prime Catcher, there's nothing you can do. And you played Crispin. So I can... Oh, that's a terrible idea. That was a worse decision than the previous one. I think they're a little bit stressed right now. I think they realize their mistake, and then it's like, oh man, then you just throw. You know, as soon as you get tilted, the mistakes kind of compound. Like I imagine when you're on stream in real life, just the issues start compounding like a fracture. Or ooh, hello. All right, well, we're finally using Fire Breather. It took nearly what? It took 100 minutes. Took 100 minutes, but we finally got there. All right, let's go Air Balloon on you. Let's roast some feet. And then, yeah, next turn I can Arven and do a million things. Unfortunately, we can't take the knockout with Moltres. You know, I was thinking of ways to use Moltres. Like I was thinking, oh, let's put a Brave Bangle in the deck, but Brave Bangle really only works with Moltres, so then you have to play Defiance Band. But when things are going well, then Defiance Band becomes useless because, you know, I'm just too good at this game. But yeah, oh wait, no, I can take the knockout with Dangerous Laser. Wait, no? No, what are you doing? Yeah, we'll go for the laser. We're going for the Dangerous Laser. Okay, Dingles, please don't concede. Come on, Dingleberry, do not concede, Dingleberry. Be cool, Dingleberry. Don't concede. Don't be a Dingleberry. All right, here we go. We got TM Evolution. And then Dangerous Laser. Boom. Yeah, get out of here, Dingleberry. You were going to lose anyway. You had no chance to win. You were going to lose. You just got piloted. Dingleberry just got piloted straight into the ground. Hey, on the bright side, your chances of being featured in a YouTube video are quite high. And yeah, notice how we didn't get screwed over by prizes and we won the game. Notice how we drew decently and I won the game. That's how it goes here in Pilot Land. So yeah, my thinking with this build is what if we just use Volcanic Meteor every single turn? So you just load up on switch cards, you just use Volcanic Meteor, because the discard of 2 energy is a bit not fun. But if you can do 280, you know, you can put Dangerous Laser, which is funny, though I think Maximum Belt is better, right? Because Maximum Belt lets you do 330. Gravity Mountain obviously brings the other dudes back into your orbit. So it's sort of like how End Zoroark is going to be, but End Zoroark doesn't give up 3 prizes and doesn't require 4 energy to do 280. It takes 2 energy to do 250. So Zoroark with the Zekrom will do 290 with the Binding Mochi. Then you have Gravity Mountain, and you can also play with your PP. Really? Really? You're still at it? All right, well, that's fine. I'm going to, yep. Actually, they can kind of just win next turn if I'm not careful. Right, if they have a switch, we do just lose. All right, well, yeah, sure, let's do that. Give them the Cleffa. We'll put the Numel down. We'll go Retreat into you. And then we'll Roasting Feet. So let's see if they got it like that. Because I kind of want to give them a chance to win. Because all I have to do is knock out a Mega Camerupt and that's game. But they need a switch if they want to attack again. And if they don't have a switch, then that's GG. Because I'll be able to double attach to the Mega Camerupt. I could have played it safe. But, you know, they're still technically in this game. Oh, I don't like that. I mean, that's definitely a desperation play. But it's like, I'm just not going to evolve. Right, they don't have a way to deal 340 damage with anybody that they've shown me. If Light Ball was out, because remember, Light Ball increases the damage that Pikachu EX does by 50, any Pikachu EX. So Light Ball would win them the game. Okay, well, there's that. So let's go. Yeah, we attach to you. We go Oricorio. 1, 2. Whoa, 1, 2. Oh wait, I could have just grabbed Latias, couldn't I? I could have just grabbed the Latias. Yeah, that was my bad. That was my bad. I wasn't thinking, okay? I was thinking about the Oricorio. Oh, but wait, there's no Latias in the deck. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so I wasn't being a butt face. I literally forgot that I did not put the Latias in the deck. Because you have 3 switches and a Turo. So of course we haven't seen a single switch. And you have 2 air balloons, 3 switches, a Turo. So naturally I haven't seen a single switch. But oh my goodness, they're gonna knock out the. But if you knock out the Fez, again, you have to. Yeah. Okay. Again, I'm a master at baiting people, aren't I? Press 1 if you think I'm a master at baiting. You know, everyone in the YouTube comments, if this makes it in, say, Pilot's a master at baiting. I love watching Trust Your Pilot masterfully bait people. All right, just take your prizes and then take your pain. I'm about to drop a volcanic meteor all over your face. Did they concede? Oh, why? Why do people do that? I'm not playing slow. I'm literally going to... You're literally taking experience out of our pockets. This would have been 600 or 625 if they don't concede. What's the point? You save yourself 5 seconds and you cost yourself 100 experience? What's the point? I feel like I shouldn't put the Fezandipiti into play for obvious reasons. So I think what I do is I split the energy because they're going to need a ton. In order for them... Oh, that's a beautiful Cleffa. I mean, this Cleffa is cute. You know, I'd message it on Tinder and say, hey, what are you wearing? But I wouldn't say it's beautiful. It's cute. So in order for them to do something this turn, they have to play with their PP and also manually attach. Yeah, ABC, Oricorio can only attach to fire Pokemon. So they have to get Darmanitan, energy in the discard pile, ends PP, and an attachment. And then all they can do is knock out a Cleffa and a Numel, and a Camerupt will still survive. Well, okay, yeah, it has a nice personality. Like, if they knock out the Cleffa, that's great. Unfortunately, Cleffa's weak to metal. Could have sniped him with Fez. Yeah, Fez. What was the... Wasn't there a stream where everyone said that I could use Ignition Energy? I think it was Never Gonna Let Me Down. And Never Gonna Let Me Down's asleep right now, so when they hear their name, their ears are gonna perk up. All right, so I believe we want to go Defiance Band on you. And then I want Rigid Band on that one. And then we go Excited Turbo. This is the strat here. So if I can just take one-shots all day, we easily win. Okay. Excited Turbo. And what I'm not going to do is be an idiot. So if I was an idiot, what would I do in this situation? That's right, I would attach the Maximum Belt. But every time I've done that in the past, they've had a Tool Scrapper. You know, we're not going to fall for it. We're not going to fall for their tricks. All right, so they're going to have to 2-shot me. Because remember, they're doing 170. They might have a Mochi. But if I can just Moltres... but how do I... Oh, no, Reshiram. Reshiram is how we win this game. Because if they take 3 prizes, I'm doing 280 with Reshiram. And then also I have Maximum Belt available to me. So, like Mjolnir, it's available to me. Get it? Because Thor never said that in the movies, I don't think. Oh, and to everyone who watched Secret Invasion, you know, the Nick Fury TV show on Disney+. Don't forget that Emilia Clarke is just sort of still running around the MCU and like is the most powerful person in the MCU, and we just kind of forgot about her. And don't forget, Angelina Jolie is in space somewhere. And Thor's brother is Harry Styles. They're just sort of just there. They're just, you know, in the MCU doing things and no one cares. Okay, so you gotta show me your castle. You know, I paid extra. I want to see it. And Hulk has a son that just exists. Yeah. Yeah, the Eternals, Harry Styles was in Eternals. Yes, that is not a joke. Harry Styles is in Eternals. All right, so if I can get the Rigid Band, that'd be perfect. I have 4 Arven, or we can get none of those and just get the Rigid Band. That also works. And Kelsey, yes, Harry Styles is Thanos' brother. That's a plot point that's definitely going nowhere. That's a plot point that's going definitely nowhere. Oh yeah, and so if you go to the meme section of the Discord, please post cards that are focused on feet. That is not a foot, that is a hoof. There's a difference. All right, they have to use Virtuous Flame, but they're about to see why that's a bad idea. Because I got the Rigid Band, so they have to get Petra and Binding Mochi now. And that's not good. All right, so let's go Air Balloon on you. Mega Signal. Oh, man, but the thing is the stupid Cleffa. You know, the Cleffa giveth, the Cleffa taketh away. Okay, I mean, I have so many damn switch cards, right? I have so many switch cards. How can we not get what we need? All right, choose 2. I shall. Bravery, Charm, and Bosses. Interesting. Okay, so remember, Powerful Rage is 20 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So when End Zekrom comes out, and it allows... when End Zekrom comes out, it allows Zoroark to do 250. What you have to remember is that Zoroark can't attack the following turn, but that's when you just use End's Castle or Petra on TX, and it's totally fine. So you will play 2 Zoroark, or 2 Zekrom. They both start with Z. Zed. So you'd play 1 Reshiram now because of Powerful Rage, but obviously the 250 damage attack is a higher number than 170, and it allows Zoroark to one-shot Fezandipiti and Petrarun and Latias. I mean, you already do that, but it just allows you to knock out so many more things. And then you also, with the Binding Mochi, you can knock out Golden Go and Cerule Edge and just so many other stage 1s and stuff. And then you throw Gravity Mountain into the mix, or Maximum Belt, or, you know, a couple other things to help out. Then you can knock out some Megas. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if... I mean, that's a good call, because obviously my hand sucks. But if my hand didn't suck, this would be a terrible decision by them. You know, I have 3 Switch in the deck, 4 Arven. I have a Turo. Okay, wait, what? Wait, who are you bringing up? There's no one good to bring up. Wait, that's... No? Like, they could have maybe... Okay, they're playing the long game here. All right, sure, let's put that on the Fez. So, it doesn't make sense to bosses anybody. Right, just putting damage. So yeah, let's just INO and hope for one of our good cards, which we're probably not going to find. As I said, we're not going to find. All right, so we'll just retreat into the Cleffa. And yeah, they have to have like a Monkey Dory if they want to do anything, or they have to INO. But I've essentially put them in a situation where they have to knock out my Cleffa. And by knocking out Cleffa, that gives me access to Fezandipiti. So yeah, I know this list is a little janky, you know, with like Maximum Belt and, you know, no Latias, no Burn. But I wanted to just be like, Volcanic Meteor is 280 damage, which is a pretty good number, right? You put a Maximum Belt, you're knocking out Mega Lopunny. You have a Defiance Band or a Maximum Belt, that knocks out Mega Absol, even with a Bravery Charm. That knocks out Mega Kangaskhan, even with a Lively Stadium. With Gravity Mountain, that knocks out like any Stage 2, even Mega Venusaur, because Mega Venusaur sucks. But it's a lot of work. Another damn bosses. All right, but joke's on them, because we're going to win the game now. Yeah, I played a game earlier against Zoroark, and this is literally like the best matchup for the deck is Zoroark. Because Reshiram takes a knockout. They have to knock out my Oricorio. So I think what I do is I bring up the Oricorio with the Turo. And yes, that is the actual correct strategy here. Because we go Reshiram, this is an extra 150. Reshiram's just great in this deck. Because as soon as they knock out a Camerupt, you're doing 280. And then you can finish up the game with your Mega Camerupt. So what we do here is we go flip the script. That's insane. I was not expecting that good of a hand. Okay, Oricorio, I choose you. 2, 3. And then we go Superior away the Oricorio and the Ultra Ball. We go get 4 energy. Okay, and then we put 3 more on the dude. 1, 2, 3. End. And then Turo scenario. So I'll explain the reasoning why I have to do this in 1 second. And then I guess, yeah, because I can use the Fez to snipe too if I really want to. I can even just use the Fez to snipe if I want to get real crazy. Oh, I was like, why did my Cleffa go into the active after I retreated it? So there you go. Zoroark is a great matchup for this deck because you're just doing 280 every turn. And how much hit points does Zoroark have? Exactly, 280. And I have no idea what their name is supposed to be. Did they try to do like Xmas, but they actually accidentally put HT? So yeah, Mega Camerupt has a couple good matchups. If you focus on Volcanic Meteor and you cut out the burn aspect, I think that's actually not bad. Because Oricorio just gives it more flexibility like it's done Yoga for a little bit. But overall, no, Mega Camerupt is not good, but it has some decent matchups out there.